Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Okay guys, so today I have received 3 new decks. I have one that says, "Hi Bridget, enjoy, this is a great deck. Thanks for all you do, many blessings. Chris," a YouTube subscriber. And it is the Psychic Tarot, which I'm very excited about. I've wanted to get this one for a while. And please excuse if the dogs freak out because it is daytime. My dad's mowing the lawn and they're wiener dogs. That's what they do. So we've got this. I have the book out because it's just a little different from normal tarot. So I may not know every single one. I may have to check. And then I've got the Shadowscapes Tarot and Sacred Geometry, this big monster oracle deck, which is funny because a friend of mine had let me borrow this back in the day. Well, they were a friend of mine back in the day. We don't talk anymore, but I did love this deck, and I've wanted it for a while, so I'm excited because I do know it. I know that one. But the Shadowscape is... Hey! Stop it! See? Shadowscape is awesome. It has like all the little names on the cards, so I won't have to double check those ones. Dogs are going crazy. Maybe I'll lock them outside. I'll pause and lock. Pause and lock. So I haven't really even thought about what I'm doing here. I just got excited because there was new decks. But these ones are from Jessica. Uh-oh, I think I'm missing one of Jessica's notes. Oh, nope, I got it. "Hi, Bridget. Happy spring. Thanks for all you do, Jessica." And then, "Hi, Bridget. Please enjoy these decks. Really enjoy how you read. Happy spring, Jessica." So thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Chris. And last night's one that I had pulled out, the Ibiza, is actually from Kristen. And it's funny because I was going to say there's a 99% chance that it was Kristen, but I didn't want to offend anybody else. So it was her. So thank you very much. Oh, and she won today's giveaway on the Divine Essentials Facebook page. I just posted the second one, so if you see this in time, you can go guess the number that I'm thinking of, and you'll win a 3-question reading. But this deck, this Sacred Geometry one, actually comes with a really large book, and so it has like different, it's really cool. I've used it in the past, but I'm going to use it differently today than with the book because I know some people just don't like when you use the book, and I get it because there's been times in the past when people have pulled out the book and I kind of just disconnect from the channel, or I don't get disconnect from the channel, I just kind of like cut off from the reading because I feel like, I don't know, so I get it. So this one actually comes in 2 little packages, but let me think what we're doing. That's my deaf dog, so I can't really do anything about her. She just goes crazy, and if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. I will try to pause if they go crazy in here, though. It's because it's nice out. Nice out. Everybody's crazy. And I think my dad has Honey Bunny outside. So I have 5 wiener dogs that stay with me. And my dad has 1 wiener dog that stays with him. And when that wiener dog's outside, these wiener dogs get upset. That's okay. You know what we'll do? We'll do a pick-a-pile to see why they're quiet or why they're not talking to you. And hopefully I won't have to check this deck too much. But we'll do it, and I'll do timestamps so you don't have to listen to me or look at me or talk to me. I just want to shuffle them a little bit. I should have probably thought about this before I started, but whatever. You know what? Just for the sake of time, I'm gonna do what I did. I haven't posted it yet, but it's on the channel. I just haven't made it live yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you pick the deck. And then I'll probably still use, oh, they're all purple. That's so perfect. So then I'll still have you guys choose. Like, you'll choose your deck, but then I'll probably use from all three and go from there for each reading. But you can choose the deck, so that will dictate. That will dictate when you get your like what. I'm not even gonna talk. 1 amethyst, 2, I forget the name all the time, and 3 amethyst alien. If you want to pause, you can pause. Where's that one? So this is why this person is silent. Why is this person silent with you? Why is this person silent with you? Why is this person silent with you? Whoa. The Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like they're just in a phase of their life where we got the Queen of Cups. I feel like they're in a phase of their life where they're kind of just like closed off from love. I feel like they probably went through a phase with somebody that had like the toxic energy of the Queen of Cups, you know, like if the Queen of Cups was in reverse, somebody that's kind of like narcissistic, somebody that's unstable emotionally. I feel like this person has really like had some toxic love, you know, like, and they're afraid of love, so they're in this phase where they're just kind of closed off, but they need to start practicing self-love. I feel like it's also a part of their confidence is down. Like they're not feeling confident about who they are. They don't feel like they're worthy of good love, because I feel like in the past they've just had kind of like crappy love, people that made them feel insignificant. They probably dealt with some narcissists. We have the 8 of Swords, so they're like stuck up in their head. And look, you see the swan. So you could be dealing with a twin flame, because this is a sign of twin flames. But I feel like in their head, they're kind of like just constricted and afraid to go into that love. And on the bottom, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So it's like their foundation was set up wrong. They're in this energy of just kind of being stuck, and it's like they're stuck in that foundation of thinking that every connection that they have is going to always go bad, or that they're just not worthy of love, or that it's always their fault when something goes wrong in a love situation. This could have started with their mom too, like they could have had issues with their mother, or they could, like a parent, or it could even be from past life. But I feel like there's inner child in there that just doesn't feel worthy of unconditional love, you know, because the Queen of Cups is standing upright. So I feel like you have that type of love to give this person, but they're afraid of it. They just don't feel worthy of it. So they're just in this phase where they're like non-committal, really stuck within their head. They think about it a lot, but they don't make actions on it, because they go back and forth to like they're living in like future, creating a future of crap, you know, like maybe feeling like, well, it may be good for a little bit, but it always goes bad. Or every time I've dealt with women, you know, like they just take advantage of me, or like they go crazy, or, you know, it's always my fault, this goes bad. Because we got the 6 of Wands here too, which tells me that they just haven't had victory in love. It's always ended badly. They could have been, you know, I feel like there was a lot of manipulation from women. Okay, so this is likely the divine feminine finding out why their masculine is silent. Could be vice versa, but it's just this person has never had victory in love. They've never had somebody that it all worked out with. And I feel like it's not like from a lack of trying. I feel like they have tried. But now they're at this place where they're just afraid of it. They're kind of shut off to it. And the King of Swords is telling me that inside of them, they do want to communicate with you. They do want to talk to you. But they're just stuck in their head, like going to the worst possible scenario, that that they're not good enough, that it's their fault, that things gone bad in the past, that they're just not worthy of love, that's anything better than what they've had. So this phase is just one of like just feeling stuck, feeling like love isn't going to come to them, or if it does come to them, it's going to end badly. But with the little hummingbird up there, I do feel like they'll get their strength, okay? So it's like hummingbird is this little tiny creature, and it has the strength to overcome the seemingly impossible journey. And so this person just needs to like rise up again. They need to find that wisdom inside of them to know that it's like the situations in the past didn't work out because that's not where they were meant to be. You know, that those weren't the people for them. And I feel like they could be coming to that understanding. They may be starting to go into a new phase of the Wheel of Fortune, but they really need to practice that self-love and realizing that it wasn't their fault it didn't work out. Those people just weren't compatible with them. And if they were cheated on or lied to, you know, that's not a reflection of them. That's a reflection of the person that they were with. But it's like the foundation that they've built surrounding by love has just been kind of toxic. And I feel like they've kind of given up on it. And so now they do, like, they may cheat. They may I don't even feel like it's cheating. I feel like they just don't want to commit to anybody, because if they commit to somebody, that person could cheat on them. So what they do is they just like have a bunch of like little random hookups or a bunch of little random people in their life, but they don't ever go anywhere beyond that because they just feel like they can't have victory. Like it's always going to end up going wrong, as 11:11 went by. So I do feel that this person's just like conflicted in their mind. And the Seven of Wands is about like working, but you see all the conflict here. It's like they just feel like it's going to be too much work because of what they've dealt with in the past. I feel like they've really dealt with some toxic experiences where it was just fighting and fighting and fighting, and there was lies and there was manipulation. Like you get the badger and the fox, and like this fox is like trying to protect his family from the badger. And I feel like that's how they felt. It was like they were trying to protect themselves and their values and that core belief surrounding of love. Like, I want love in my life. I believe in love, but I feel like they've just been badgered down by love. And so now they're afraid of it. So now they're just like in that phase of, I'm not even gonna engage in it because I'm not worthy of it. Look how like depressed this person is. I feel like, because this is the King of Swords, this is how they feel. This is their truth. You know, it's like their truth is that they're just gonna always fail, that they're gonna stay stuck, that nobody could possibly ever care about them the way that they've cared about others in the past. I feel like they've just been let down time and time again. Let's see if there's anything else about this person. We got two. The King of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So I feel like they are going to be working on their value and their worth. And the Six of Swords is funny because there's actually a swan like taking somebody out of the trouble. You see that swan? So what I feel like this is that this is a representation that their twin flame is the one person that can help them to come out of that trouble, to help them recognize their value and their worth, and that love doesn't have to be a fight. Love doesn't have to be, you know, unbalanced. Not everybody is going to leave you or cheat on you or, you know, belittle you or treat you badly. But I feel like partly too is that this person does things that are bad so that people don't want them. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost that it's like a defense mechanism. Like, if they don't want me, like, we won't get sucked into it. And it's like I feel like they care about you, and it's like you scare them. You scare them because there's that like intensity of love with them, but they don't feel worthy of it. They feel like you can bring them out of the trouble, but they feel like they're not worthy of that yet. They need to work on that. And I feel like if you just stay soft with them, you know, keep your boundaries up, don't let them treat you badly. But if you show them that you aren't the way those others are, I feel like they could realize that they have the potential to have true love in their life and to rise out of this phase of just like basically self-sabotaging. It's like they're sabotaging love before it even comes. And so I feel like this is that one person that may have that ability to take them out of those troubles, because the Six of Swords is about moving on, and we know the King of Pentacles is like the most valuable person in the deck. They have that core inside of them that does believe in love, but they have felt like they've been cut off from it. They stay too stuck in their head about it, and they just kind of run from it, and they sabotage it so that it doesn't go anywhere. You know, it's like they sabotage it before it can get there because they're afraid of it. Because once they give their heart over, it's like you have it and you can just go like that and crush it again. Because I feel like it's been crushed quite a few times. So that is why your person's not talking. And likely, you know, some of those issues that are going on for them. But the Knight of Pentacles is on the bottom, so I think they are slowly moving. And that King of Cups is after it. So they're slowly moving into the alignment with that King of Cups, who we saw the Queen of Cups in the beginning. So eventually this person will rise up in value enough, and their love will grow enough for them to be able to come around and find the strength. The Strength card is under there too. So they'll find their strength eventually. And the Strength card has a swan on the back of the lion. These are really pretty cards. Thank you very much. I love them. So eventually, I feel like this person is slowly, you know, working their way through this Knight of Pentacles energy, which is slow, but it's slow and steady. I think they're starting to see the potential there. They're starting to see that you may not be like the others, and their love is going to assist them in swimming through the emotions that they have to rise up out of those places of insecurity and out of that depression. And so they'll find the strength to come and be with their person. Okay, and the swan is there again. So it's like they're going to find their strength to rise out of this energy and you know, realize that this is infinite love. It's different from, I think they had conditional love in the past. They had people who were narcissistic in the past. They had people who just wanted. So they are in hermit mode, but eventually they're going to want to communicate with you. 8 of Wands. So I feel like it'll turn around for you, but they need to work through some of that stuff. So doing inner child work, working on self-value, core beliefs, things like that will help this person. But they do have that core inside of them that believes in love and wants love. So we're going to move on to number 2. And we're going to find out why this person may be silent. Whoa. We have disruption, hope, and shadow coming through, which they're actually, I guess I didn't shuffle that well because they're going in order, but that's how the tarot is. So this person has had some sort of tower moment in their life, and I feel like whatever it is, it was big. All right, this was really, really big, and what it did was it took the light out of their life. It took the hope out of their life, and they have now gone into their shadow. All right, they've gone into like a death, but they didn't have the rebirth. You know, some people have a death and a rebirth process. This person didn't have that. This person, like, shit crumbled down. They may have like lost like a very big partnership. Maybe they were with somebody for a long time, and then when that person left, it was like their entire like world came crumbling down. Their belief came crumbling down. Their light came crumbling down, and they have now been stuck in this shadow. And then this is the 9 of Wands. So they've really been beaten by love. This person has been like knocked down. But the thing is, we know the 9 of Wands is like somebody that is still kind of holding on. But I feel like what may be happening now is that you could have come in with a disruption that is giving them a little bit of hope to overcome the shadow that they're holding on to and not give up completely on love. Okay, so it's like and this is all green, so this is their heart. It's like their heart is in there. And it's like slowly coming back out of that darkness. It's slowly wanting to rise back up. So whatever disruption they had in the past, it had them down for a while. They've been down for the count, and they lost their hope. But I feel like you've come in and disrupted things again, and so they're starting to rise out of that. They're starting to find that strength. They may even be going through somewhat of a spiritual awakening. And I feel like things are going to start shifting with them, but I do feel like it was something big. Like it was probably like the end of a marriage or just the end of a long commitment that they thought was going to be longer than it was. I think they thought that, you know, they had the person that they were going to be with. So we do have the 4 of Cups too, which says disconnect and boredom. So this is like emotions, and I feel like a lot of the people that they've connected with since this, you know, I feel like they've probably dated other people and things. There was just not a connection there. They were bored with these people. They didn't find the light in these people. They didn't have the spark like they had with the person that left everything crumbled down. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, but something big happened in their life where they closed their heart and they went into the shadow and they didn't want to open their heart back up. But it's still in there. And you've kind of inspired it to awaken again. But they have this energy about them where they kind of just like, they just disconnect from people. They feel bored with people. They get bored with people really quick. So again, you could be dealing with somebody that's been perceived as a player, but it's like they're just not interested in these people. It's like they think that there's going to be an interest. They think that there's going to be a spark, but then they disconnect from them. And again, it's probably one of those like mechanisms to protect their heart, because they've definitely had a big thing go down. And I feel like it's just like messed with their truth, okay? I think this is like the, what is this? This is Judgment. See, this is the deck I wasn't quite sure about. I should know the numbers by now, but I don't. Yep, Judgment. It's a Judgment card. So, I feel like they have had Spirit come in, and again, that could have, at some point, like when they were in that darkness, when Spirit came in, it could have awakened some sort of truth in them to realize, like, oh, wait, there is a glimmer of hope here. And so whatever's going on in their life, I feel like they're even more disconnected from it, and it's like they're looking for more. They're looking for the light. They're looking for that person that's going to be like, bow. And I think they understand that maybe you, but in the same breath, that scares the shit out of them. That scares them because they know the potential there. Because they've had that in the past. They've had somebody that brought them the light, but it was a false light. It was like, if you're on a twin flame journey, it was like a false twin. It was somebody they thought that was going to be their twin flame. Somebody they thought they were going to like spend their days with. And that got disrupted by Spirit for a reason, to move that out of the way so they could go through their karmic contracts. So now they've just been in this energy of like being bored with all the people that come into their lives. And it was easy for them to disconnect for those people because they didn't have that spark in there. But here you come disrupting them again, and you've got that spark, but it scares the shit out of them. So they're trying to disconnect from you, but I don't think they can. I feel like Spirit's like, dude, this is your truth. Pay attention. This is where you're supposed to be. But they're trying to run from it. They're trying to disconnect from it. They're trying to, you know, just act like it's not a big deal. But it is, they're going through a transformation. So this is like the death card, all right? They're gonna be going through the death and rebirth process. And in this rebirth, their hope is going to grow larger and larger and larger. But I also feel like there may have been some sort of disruption between the two of you, where that bored, disconnected energy, you got sick of it, and you were like, you know what, I know I deserve better. So you probably went through a transformation as well, and you could have actually cut this person off, and that's why you're not connecting with them. That's why you're not communicating with them, is because they're now feeling like you're bored and disconnected from them, which I feel like you did it for yourself. You did it to have that new beginning in your life, because you were being beaten up by this. Like, your emotions were taking a hit every single time you dealt with this person. It was like you just didn't know what to do anymore with yourself. And so with the Four of Swords here, it's like I feel like both of you have just been silent and trying to rest and rejuvenate after this thing, all right? So I feel like there's been multiple tower moments for this person. It was like originally somebody left them, and it left them feeling like hopeless and disconnected from the world, and then Spirit brought you in, and it was like this big judgment and this truth there that this is somebody that can spark that hope back up. But then they had another one of these like, let me run from it and disconnect from it and pretend that it doesn't exist. And so they had, like, I feel like you were just always there. You know, you were always there, and then you decided that you had enough of that, and you disconnected, and that was another disruption. So I feel like now they have more of an excuse to disconnect and not try to connect with you, and they feel like you're disconnected from them and you're bored with them. So it kind of like proved their point that this hope is hopeless, you know. So they're back in that hopeless energy. But I do think they're going to go through the death process with that. They're going to start to see the truth of the matter, that they kind of pushed you to that point. They pushed you to that place of having to disconnect from them because they were doing to you what they had done to them. Where somebody destroyed their hope with love. They've kind of done that to you with this person. I don't think your hope and love has gone away, but I feel like you were really hoping for this person to come around, and they didn't. So it's kind of like your heart was like, all right, I give up. And so now you're in this energy of a new beginning where you're just protecting your heart. You're trying to heal because you're sick of feeling defeated. You're sick of feeling the conflict with this situation because you know the truth. You know that there's something there. You know the light's there. You know this person cares about you. You know that it's a bigger connection than what has been led on. You've already gone through your transformation with it. But now you're moving on because you're afraid of wasting your entire time in life here with this situation. And so I feel like that has kind of sparked another one of those things in their life where it's just been a big disruption, and they may be even now recognizing their shadow. They may be recognizing their part through this emotional loss that they've gone through with you. They're starting to see their part. All right, they're starting to see and recognize what they've done, you know, through this loss of you, through the loss of that little spark of hope that they had that was growing, through you moving on. They're realizing their part in this conflict and how they've deceived you, and how, you know, you both need to rest and rejuvenate at this time and move into this place of a new beginning. But I feel like they do want to reconcile, but they're trying to like hold themselves back. They're trying not to act like there's that glimmer of hope and that light within this connection, because again, they're fearful of it. They're fearful that eventually they'll have another disruption where, like, if they get too close to you, you spend too much time together, eventually you're going to be like, never mind, I don't really, you know, I thought that I wanted to be with you, but I don't. And so again, there's fear, but this is definitely a big love connection. This isn't something that's going to die out just because one person cuts off or the other person cuts off. But I think they sense this too, and this scares them because, again, this is what a lot of them are. It's like they're just afraid of it, because that's like giving over the power of your heart to somebody that can then destroy it. But I think they're trying to choose to harmonize and connect back into this energy and choose wisely, like what they're going to do. So with the Seven of Cups energy, it's like they're seeing a bunch of illusions in connection to this, and they're not sure. And I think a lot of it is because you have withdrawn, and so now they're withdrawing, but they know that you're going to make them happy in the end. They do know this, but they're afraid of this happiness at the same time. And because you've withdrawn, it's like giving them that okay to withdraw from it. But I do think there's a bunch of illusions going on both parts. I feel like you guys are kind of triggering each other, which is what is meant to happen here. You're both supposed to trigger each other's like core wounds and fears so that you can overcome the obstacles. You know, this is obstacles and challenges. So this is like you guys have just been having constant things to overcome, but that's going to lead you to new communication, which will actually lead you to success with this person. So they will reach out to you. If they've been silent, you know, I think there's just a lot of conflict. This is the Two of Swords. They're having a hard time making up their mind, because when you left or when you decided to cut off, you were in this heartache and loss, and now they are. But eventually they're going to become the emperor. They're going to take the authority back in their life, and they're going to acquire that wisdom of the Hierophant to come back around to you, because they know that you're that hope, you're that light in the dark. You're where they're going to find what they're meant to have in their life, and that I think they'll start to realize like why it didn't work out with other people in the past. All those disruptions, all that emotional loss within the past was because that's not where they were supposed to be. That wasn't the person that it was supposed to have that connection with. And that all the conflict that they've had here has been because of them disconnecting and you know, feeling like they were just bored with you. And I feel like you got bored of that. You got bored of this conflict. You got bored of waiting. And so you decided to just disconnect yourself from it. And that has brought more of this shadow out within them to transform, because they need to let go of that. So both of you are in this time of silence. I don't feel like one of you is the only one that's being quiet, okay? I feel like both of you are being quiet, and I think that you've likely moved away from this person, or you're moving on from this person just because of the difficulties that have been here. But I think that, again, the end result will be that they find their truth, they find their balance, and they're going to come back around to take that leap of faith that'll lead to reconciling with you. But they just have a lot of stuff inside of them that has been triggered time and time and time again. It's almost like they just can't get it right in love. They feel that way anyways. And you were done with the waiting game. It was like you were waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and now you're done waiting. So I think that's the best thing for you, is to just move on with your life, get out of that energy of waiting for this person, because it's not going to help. You know, like you need to start making partnerships and alliances with people who make you feel like you have a firm foundation. And then from that firm foundation of healing and achievements, look at, again, 4, this is a big thing. I feel like you both need to work on your foundation, your root chakra, feeling safe in the world. That's what's going to lead you to success and victory in your own lives, and then you're going to go to a positive movement forward together. This is the 8 of Wands. This is like that communication. So that's when you guys are going to feel good. That's when, you know, you're going to overcome all this obstacles and you're going to have that harvest of abundance. And that's when the new love will begin. That new connection will be able to be there because you are the Two of Cups. You guys are, you know, spiritual connection, and you're going to have your spiritual union, and you will rejoice in celebration. All right. So, you know, there's definite things here that have been kind of like not so great, but in the end it will work out. And this was just all part of your lessons. You had to go through the silence, so, and you had to separate and disconnect yourself so you could work on your foundation and be good with who you are, minus this person. This person doesn't need to be there in your life for you to have happiness or fulfillment. All right, so I'm gonna move on to number 3, and we're gonna see like what could be going on here. Oh wow, hiding. I thought that said hiding truth, but it says high tide, sacred union, and pentagon. All right, so I feel like this is number 27. This is the one that I thought said hiding truth. It says high tide. I feel like basically what this means is that they're hiding their emotions. Because I saw hiding truth, it's like there's a high tide of emotions connected to you, and they're hiding it. They're just running from it. And that this has been like kind of laid out before you guys ever came here. It was like built solid for protection from the spirit level, because it is a sacred union. You are meant to be together. This is something that's bigger than you. So, you know, they are running from it because of the intensity of it. They don't want to like admit to it, basically. But I feel like they know. They're just like afraid to admit to it. They're afraid to communicate with you. They're afraid to let you know just how much love and power they feel with you. This is love and power. So there's a powerful love connection here, and they just don't want to admit to it because they feel like it's too powerful. It's too intense. It's not even anything bad. It's just intense. It scares the shit out of this person how much they want to be with you, how much like you know them, how much you make them feel. And it's definitely a twin flame connection. You got duality and the infinity connection here. So this is part of your process here too, is to bring duality into balance and to recognize the infinite connection between the two of you. And that's what part of the process is within a twin flame journey, is to have silence. So I feel like the basic thing here is that they're just feeling the intensity of it, and they're trying to overcome it. But there's a divine doorway that's going to be opening up for you guys soon, and I feel like they're going through an awakening. So if they've like pulled back from you recently, you probably triggered something inside of them that is going to continue to open up. It's like the golden spiral is just going to continue to spiral now, and they're not going to be able to like run from it much longer. But like I said, it's just the intensity of this connection. We do have dancing prayer, and then invoking the infinite. So I feel like they do want this, okay? Like they celebrate when they're with you. It's like when you guys are together, everything's beautiful. You guys really come together quickly, and then at some point it's like they just kind of like run away from it. But this is an infinite thing. It's never going to end. You're never going to like be able to run from it completely. I feel like no matter what, Spirit's going to keep bringing you guys back together. And like the flower of life, it's that thing, and realizing that all things connect together, all things touch together. So everything that you guys have experienced within this, it's all parts of the pieces of the puzzle that you're going to like figure out in the end. But you're also rippling this out through the collective consciousness to teach others, to like bring that duality into oneness, because that's what the whole point of the purpose is here, is to bring that together and to balance the yin yang, and to find that wisdom of the owl and the raven, and to overcome those fears that this person's having, so that they can be wise and they can connect with that serpent energy climbing up the tree to shed the past. You know, the serpent sheds the skin, which represents shedding our past. So this person just needs to let go of the things in the past that haven't worked out in their life. I feel like they've had some like not so great things, and this is like a mandala. Like again, it's just going to continue to expand. It's like there's a purpose behind you guys in this separation, is that like you guys have gone through like a sacred portal. The Shekinah is like it's about the truth, and it's a sacred portal of truth where you communicate. It's like a galactic opening, and I feel like they're now going to be going through a time of transmutation, and they're going to align with their truth. They're going to go through that sacred portal, that doorway that we saw that is opening, and that's a very intense thing for them, but they will overcome it. and you guys will meet again. All right, it says morning meeting. Like they will come back around when they overcome this energy. And then the Antakarana is here. The Antakarana breaks up energy that's not like healthy. It like gets rid of this stuff that's been stagnant. So I feel like they are dreaming of you too. This is Mayan dreams, so it's like they're dreaming of you. And then you got dancing through eternity, so it's like you guys definitely have this infinite connection. And I feel like the main thing here is that it's just so intense, they need to calm themselves down and realize that it's not a big deal. Like to have this intensity was, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's like they need to like calm themselves down about it and not freak themselves out. And with the DNA, they're probably going through DNA upgrades and downloads and all of that, and that can be very intense. They're definitely dreaming of you, though. I feel like this person's definitely dreaming of you, and they're finding their wisdom at this time. Like the mountain messengers are all about our ancestors. So I feel like there's parts of the DNA that need to be healed with this person that's connected to their ancestral lineage. So they probably have beliefs and things like that that are coming up. They have like the DNA symptoms that are coming up. It's like every time they come near you, you awaken something inside of them, and it spirals and spirals out, and it's like, and so they just can't handle that intensity. So that's why they're silent with you. I don't think there's any like big things here. Like there's not like any big major like they were killed, you know, like hurt by somebody else, or they went through something really tragic. I feel like it's more so just them afraid of the intensity of how much they actually feel when they're with you, and that's just a lot, you know. It's like the steam cave. It's like being in this like pressure cooker, and it's like an invitation to awaken even more every time they come near you. So they're like, I think I'm just gonna stay back here. So it's just a very intense, powerful connection. But I feel like you guys are definitely twin flame peeps, and you probably have like that starseed mission too, where you're like decoding stuff, awakening consciousness, helping, you know, ascend the collective through your own ascension. And the masculines go through this a lot quicker than the feminines, but the feminines awaken it in the masculine, and then it goes through the earth grid to everybody else. So it's like they're a catalyst and you're a catalyst, and it's just very intense for this person. So that is likely why they're silent with you right now, is just through the intensity of this. But it's very powerful, very, very powerful. So I hope that this assist you. If it did, hit like. If it didn't, you can hit dislike. Thank you very much for these decks. I'm so excited about them. I didn't realize how many messages in here actually connect to twin flames, so that is awesome sauce. And if you would like to donate, there's a link down below. If you'd like a private reading, I'm on a 2-week wait, but I can add you to my list. Oh, and if you want to go be a part of the little thing on the Divine Essentials channel, if you see it in time, people are guessing numbers for a free, not the Divine Essentials channel, the Divine Essentials Facebook page. People are guessing for a free reading, okay? So thank you very much again. In Mune. Namaste.